Hi, I'm Amelia, a member of the Leo Club, and today I'm going to be reading The Little Mermaid. Once upon a time, a little mermaid named Ariel frolicked below the ocean, exploring the hulls of sunken ships with her roly-poly playmate, Flounder. Swimming inside a ship's cabin, Ariel discovered some rusted silverware. "Oh my gosh, have you ever seen anything so wonderful?" she asked the nervous Flounder. Ariel swam to the water's surface and found her seagull friend. "Scuttle, look what we found," she said, holding up the fork. "It's a dingle hopper," Scuttle explained. "Humans use these to straighten their hair." "Thanks, Scuttle," said Ariel. "It's so perfect for my collection." Ariel dived to an undersea grotto where she kept her treasures from the human world. She hid her collection there because her father, King Triton, forbade merpeople to have any contact with the humans. That night, Ariel saw strange lights shimmering over the ocean and swam up to investigate. She watched as fireworks flared above a large sailing ship. Scuttle soared down through the flickering colors. "Some celebration, huh, sweetie? It's the birthday of the human they call Prince Eric." Ariel peered at the young man on the deck. "I've never seen a human this close. He's very handsome." Aboard the ship, Eric's advisor, Sir Grimsley, motioned for the crew's attention. "It is now my privilege to present our esteemed prince with a very expensive, very large birthday gift." He pointed to a marble statue carved in the prince's exact likeness. "Of course, I had hoped it would be a wedding present." "Don't start, Grim," said the prince. "The right girl's out there, somewhere." Far beneath the ocean, the wicked sea witch, Ursula, used her magic to spy on Ariel. My, the daughter of the great sea king, Triton, in love with a human? A prince, no less. Her daddy will love that. Serves him right, that miserable old tyrant. Banishing me from his palace just because I was a little ambitious. Still, this headstrong, lovesick girl may be the key to my revenge on Triton. On the surface, a sudden storm whipped across the ocean. The prince took charge. "Stand fast! Secure the rigging!" Suddenly, a huge bolt of lightning struck the vessel. Sir Grimsley slid across the deck. "Eric, look out! The mast is falling!" Ariel watched in horror. Eric's been knocked onto the water. "I've got to save him!" she cried. With the storm swirling about her, Ariel desperately searched for Eric. Diving beneath the huge waves, she spotted the unconscious prince. She took a hold of him and, using all her strength, managed to drag him to the surface. As the storm died down, Ariel dragged the unconscious prince to the shore. "He's still breathing," she cried. Ariel wished that she could stay with the handsome Prince Eric. She sang a haunting melody that voiced her longing to be with him forever. A moment later, Ariel was back in the water and Sir Grimsley was kneeling beside Eric. "You really delight in these sadistic strains on my blood pressure, don't you?" Sir Grimsley said. "A girl rescued me," replied Eric. "She had the most beautiful voice. I think you've swallowed a bit too much seawater," said Sir Grimsley, leading Eric away. Back in the sea King's palace, Triton noticed Ariel floating about as if in a dream. Summoning Sebastian the crab, the Sea King smiled. "You've been keeping something from me. I can tell. Ariel's in love." "I tried to stop her. I told her to stay away from the humans," said Sebastian. "Humans? Ariel is in love with a human?" asked King Triton. Growing angry, Triton found Ariel in her grotto. She was staring at Eric's statue, which Flounder had retrieved after the storm. "How many times have I told you to stay away from those fish-eating barbarians? Humans are dangerous," her father shouted. "But Daddy, I love him," said Ariel. "So help me, Ariel. I am going to get through to you no matter what it takes," said King Triton. Raising his trident, the Sea King destroyed all her treasures. Then he stormed off, leaving Ariel in tears. As Ariel wept, two eels slithered up to her. "Don't be scared. We represent someone who can help you." Ariel followed them to Ursula's den. "My dear, sweet child," Ursula began. I help poor, unfortunate mer people like yourself. I'll make a potion that will turn you into a human for 3 days. Before sunset, on the 3rd day, you've got to get the prince to fall in love with you and kiss you. If he does, you'll be human permanently. But if he doesn't, you'll turn back into a mermaid and you'll belong to me. Ariel took a deep breath and nodded. The sea witch smiled deviously. Oh yes, I almost forgot. We haven't discussed payment. I'm not asking much. All I want is your voice. Ariel thought of her prince. Then she reluctantly agreed. Ursula used her powers to capture Ariel's beautiful voice in a seashell and transform the little mermaid into a human. Aided by Sebastian and Flounder, Ariel used her new legs to swim awkwardly to shore. There, she found Prince Eric walking his dog. He studied Ariel as she shied away from the animal. You seem very familiar to me. Have we met? He asked. Ariel opened her mouth to answer, but her voice was gone. You can't speak? Asked the prince, lowering his eyes. Then I guess we haven't met. Eric guessed that Ariel had been in a shipwreck, so he took her back to the palace. At the palace, Ariel was whisked upstairs by a maid. Grimsy discovered the prince staring glumly out the window. Eric, be reasonable. Young ladies don't swim around rescuing people. I'm telling you, she was real, said the prince. I'm going to find her. A moment later, Ariel appeared in a beautiful gown. The following afternoon, Eric took Ariel for a rowboat ride across a lagoon. Sebastian swam nearby. Almost 2 days had gone by and the prince hadn't kissed Ariel. Sebastian decided to create a romantic mood. He began conducting a chorus of sea creatures and the music worked. Eric leaned over to kiss Ariel, but as he bent toward her, the boat tipped and both Eric and Ariel fell into the water. From her ocean lair, Ursula let them tumble into the lagoon. That was a close one. I can't let Ariel get away with that easily. She began concocting a magic potion. Soon, Triton's daughter will be mine. Then I'll make the Sea King writhe and wriggle like a worm on a hook. The next morning, Scuttle told Ariel that the prince had announced his wedding. Overjoyed, Ariel hurried downstairs, but she hid when she saw Eric introducing Grimsy to a mysterious, dark-haired maiden. The prince seemed hypnotized. Vanessa saved my life, Eric explained. We're going to be married on board the ship at sunset. Ariel drew back, confused. She was the one who had rescued Eric. Sebastian and Flounder found Ariel sitting on the dock watching the wedding ship leave the harbor. Suddenly, Scuttle crash-landed beside them. I flew over the ship and saw Vanessa's reflection in a mirror. She's the sea witch in disguise, and she's wearing the seashell containing Ariel's voice. We've got to stop the wedding. Flounder helped Ariel swim out to the boat while Sebastian went to get the Sea King. Dripping wet, Ariel climbed aboard the ship before sunset as Eric and the maiden were about to be married. Before Vanessa could say, I do, Scuttle and an army of his friends attacked her. In the scuffle, Vanessa's seashell necklace crashed to the deck, freeing Ariel's voice. Suddenly, Vanessa sounded like the sea witch. Eric, get away from her, she cried. Ariel smiled at the prince. Oh, Eric, I wanted to tell you. Ursula grinned. You're too late, the sun is set. Ariel felt her body changing back into a mermaid. Poor little princess, said Ursula, dragging Ariel into the water. It's not you I'm after. You're merely the bait to catch your father. Ursula, stop, shouted a furious King Triton, swimming towards them. I'll make a deal with you. Just don't harm my daughter. Instantly, Triton was changed into a tiny plant. Ariel stood heartbroken before Ursula, now Queen of the Ocean. Suddenly, Prince Eric appeared. He tossed a harpoon at the sea witch, hitting her in the arm. You little fool, Ursula yelled, snatching up the king's trident. As the sea witch pointed the weapon at Eric, Ariel rammed into her, knocking the trident loose. Eric, we have to get away from here, she cried. The moment Ariel and Eric surfaced from the water, huge tentacles shot out of the ocean. An enormous monster emerged. It was the sea witch. Ursula commanded the waters into a deadly whirlpool, and several old sunken ships rose to the surface. Eric struggled aboard one of the ships. Then he steered the ship right into the sea, which destroying her. The mighty force sent Eric reeling toward shore. As the unconscious prince lay on the beach, Ariel perched on a rock and gazed at him. Triton had returned to normal after Ursula had been destroyed. He and Sebastian watched from afar. The Sea King saw that his daughter really did love the prince. He waved his trident and Ariel was once again human. The next day, Ariel and the Prince Eric were married. As they kissed, the humans and merpeople sent up a happy cheer, linked at last by the marriage of two people whose love was as deep as the sea and as pure as a young girl's voice. The end. Hope you enjoyed it.